few things that I see happening now with people is that there are massive changes happening. There is a lot of emotional disruption. There is a lot of physical disruption. I see people getting either really sick, or I see people like getting into these deep stages of depression, or anxieties flaring up, or relationships are shifting, or the life that they thought that they were meant to have or to be living is changing drastically. So what's popping up from that is resistance. Feeling resistant to making the choices that need to be made, resistant to the flow that life is bringing, resistant to going in and taking a look at what the core of the challenge is versus the reality. Because the reality that's happening is actually a reflection of what is going on with you internally, right? Hi, Adrienne. It's not about the thing outside of you. It's actually the thing outside of you, whether it be the crazy person in traffic, whether it be the store clerk with a very short temper, whether it be your partner, a family member, a friend, just either like losing their shit, being just, betrayal, disrespect, not honoring. What's happening is that all of the outer disruption is guiding you to take a look and a reflection of the patterns that you're holding inside, the beliefs that you're holding inside, right? So a lot of the resistance coming up is taking a look at some of this really hard stuff that you have to admit to yourself that you're actually carrying, that you're actually still running these old programs and patterns. Now you're running them because at some point in time, they served you. Right? They, at some point in time, your behaviors, your patterns, your beliefs somehow served you in keeping you safe and having you belong and having you, not cause waves, having you fill the good girl or the good boy role or the people pleaser, right? And so now it's happening as we're moving into 2020, as we're moving into, this stage of evolution and the expansion of your life and your soul and your consciousness. The stuff that you've been carrying, it's got to be let go, right? So rather than taking a look at what's happening outside of you, right, and blaming the other person of what a bleep they are, it's really about taking a look at, okay, a couple of things, right? Listen, if you really want to shift your life, if you really want to break these patterns, it's like taking a look at how is this making me feel, right? How am I feeling in this exchange, right? What's happening here? Like, am I making it mean that I'm not important? Am I making it mean that I'm not enough? Am I not respected, or I'm not valuable, or and then taking a look at, what's really a big theme that I see happening right now is compliance, right? Like, where am I throwing myself under the bus to comply with others, to comply by rules, comply by others' desires, and not taking a look at what it is that I really want for myself? So the things that are happening, take a look at how is it making me feel, okay? And because it's not about making an adjustment to the person outside of you or having them change, it's taking a look at how is this making me feel? What am I making mean about it, right? So rather than making meaning about what's happening, what is the meaning that you have for yourself about what's happening, okay? So this is why the mantras and the affirmations and the 12 steps and the lessons aren't working, because those are all from your mindset. Okay. So those things have been supported to get you beyond a little bit of suffering, a little bit of challenge, right? To kind of like straighten up your mind and even the thing that's coming to mind is like the 4 agreements. Like, those are all good. All of those things are good. The 12 steps, the Course in Miracles, the mantras, and the affirmations, but they're only going to get you so far, right? Because if you have underlying pain that's not resolved and it keeps coming back at you from other people, from other experiences, right? If you keep finding that you're in this cycle of fear, of lack, of insecurity, right? And like, how are you going to, get your message out into the world? How are you going to be living your fullest life if you're carrying around all of this stuff? So these affirmations, the mantras and the lessons and stuff will only get you so far because they're from the mindset, right? And if you want to and need to make a change in your life, you actually have to do something different. Now, if you've done all the things and you haven't gotten beyond your pain, you haven't gotten through the cycle, if you still find yourself suffering for days, months, years from past trauma, from past doesn't exist anymore. So you have to approach it differently, right? So you have to approach it from the level of consciousness, right? So that's beyond your mindset and energy. Okay, so if you think of it this way, if you find that you are moving through life and it feels like you are like pushing a boulder up the hill, the boulder being past pain, these, worries and fears and traumas, right? It's like stop pushing the boulder. Step away from the boulder. Let the boulder go. Easier said than done, because there is a lot of attachment to this boulder, right? There's a lot of, what I see with some people is that they have, there's a, what do I want to say here? There's an identity with some of the boulders, right? And in letting go of some of the boulder, it's like it goes into the space of unknown. Well, who am I without the boulder? What would life look like without the boulder, right? You may have gotten so wrapped up in trying to resolve the, issues in your life, or the lack, or the pain, or the trauma, that you've just actually created more of it. And so what happens is that in so much attention on a thing, it actually becomes part of your aura. It becomes part of your energy field. Hi, Michelle. And so by only addressing it in the mind, it's where the mind is created. In order to change it, you can change it in your mind, but you have to change it in your energy field. So yesterday, when was I? What example do I want to give you? Here's the thing too, is that, put it this way. Some of the mantras and affirmations got you so far, right? Let's say that, they got you through so much of being able to shift your mind beyond, to open it up to new possibilities and different ways of thinking and being. But to take things to the next level, to go into that next life experience, right? To go beyond what you know into the unknown spaces, you have to do it differently. And it's like the way our computers have advanced, the way that our technology has advanced. You've advanced too. So the things that are working for you and that have worked in the 1920s and the 1950s and even the 1980s aren't going to work for you in the way that the energy and consciousness can bring you through the evolution of who you are. The important thing to know is that you do not have to dig into all of the old stuff, all of the pain, all of the trauma in order to move beyond it. This is another way that we're advancing, is that, back in the day, sitting on the couch of the therapist and talking about the problems and all of that, it actually creates more of building that energy and building it in your field and making it more real, like taking that past and bringing it along with you, like pushing that boulder up the hill. And so what I do is we get to the level of energy, right? So your memories are energy, and your body holds the memories, especially if at the time of whatever event or trauma, the emotions were not resolved, but you had to go into some kind of survival or fight or flight or freeze. Those memories get stored in your body. Check out a book called Your Body Keeps a Score, or The Body Keeps a Score. And for me, I actually started to read the book, and it was a little intense for me. So I didn't read it all the way through, but it's, I know, because this is the work that I do, is that when you're trying to advance in your work, you're trying to advance in your money, when you're trying to advance in sharing your message or your art or your healing out in the world, anything that is going to unveil or trigger or provoke or it's like it have. I'm getting a little distracted because my computer's down there and I could see myself talking with my hands. So essentially anything that you're going forward to move and advance forward with and share more of who you are, that could potentially trigger any old trauma. So for example, let me give you some real life examples. Let's say that you've been single and you really want a relationship, right? But if you've had unhealed heartbreak, if you've had unhealed betrayal, if you've had if you've been in, neglectful or abusive relationships, even childhood, not just romantic, and you want to move into, so what you do is what we do with the betrayal and the heartbreak and whatnot is, to get through it, sometimes we just like close it all down. But if you start to advance in those areas in your life where you're like, okay, I'm ready for a loving relationship, but things aren't happening, you got to take a look at, what's going on inside. Am I really afraid? Do I really want this? Have I really chosen it? Right? Because what you'll find is you may meet a partner, but then the same pains are triggered again. The same trauma is triggered again. You meet another one who's cheating, or another one who's betrayed you, or another one who doesn't show up for you and give you what you need. It's not about the other person. It's about what's going on inside of you. All of this is the inner game. It's about you. You are the vessel of the computer or the computer where the outer world that you live is the output of what's been put into the computer. Another example, I was speaking with a woman the other day where she was inquiring about I have for January, I have an energy clearing and recalibration session. I never do one-to-one single sessions. And it came in to offer for January because so many people are going through some really tough times right now. And this is just like this one hit, let's clear, let's like get you out of like the really hard times so that you could see a little bit more clearly, so you could feel a little bit more grounded, so you can have more peace, so you can feel lighter, so you can make more well-informed decisions and choices rather than from the erratic, static, frantic states that all of this energy is stirring up for people. So I was speaking to her about what it was like. I wanted to know a little bit more about what she was looking at to see if it was a good fit. And for her, she's just like, I'm depressed. I feel anxious all the time. I had a surgery last year, and I've just not been able to like get out of this depression and this anxiety. And so I'm able to read energy, and I was able to start to look at what's going on in her field, right? So it's like her auric field, her energy body, able to see inside her computer system and see what's operating that's triggering the depression and anxiety. And I was able to tie some pieces together, and then she confirmed what was actually going on inside. And the surgery was actually it was like, had she, we can't say because she's already had, but my take on it is that had she had dealt with the thing that caused the surgery in the first place, the reasons for the surgery, she would have not needed to have the surgery. Because what I saw is this depression and anxiety has actually been unveiled like a volcano, right? The depression and anxiety has come up from the surgery because her body was actually trying to hold in the unresolved emotions. And so we don't have to go into what happened or why, or we don't have to bring up all of that past pain. We just work on the energy level, right? Energy level, just what I see is like, it's people hold these like memory clusters of energy in their field, and it affects the life that they're trying to create now. So how do I want to wrap this up? First of all, do I have any questions here? No questions. Okay. Hold on. Oh, hey, Natasha. I didn't even see you come in. Here. I don't know who's here. So let me just wrap this up. First of all, that the change that you seek has to come from a different place than it was created. So if it was created in your mind, the change has to come from a different space in your mind. If you feel like you are working really hard to rewire your brain and your thoughts and your beliefs, you're essentially like pushing a boulder up the hill, or you're trying to bypass with mantras and affirmations. It doesn't need to be hard. It doesn't have to take a long time, especially when you get to the level of energy and consciousness. And I know that this may be, I don't know, just this may be new language and information for you, but like really feel some of the things that I've said in this video today. And it's really just so much about you tuning into those inner sensations that say, yes, this resonates with me. I don't even know why, but I'm just going to move forward with it. And so, yes. So just as our technology has advanced, you've advanced too. And your system has been getting energetic and consciousness upgrades for a while now. It's been a pretty intense, even 2020. And if you're finding that you're struggling, and if you're finding that you're in pain and are in patterns, or like you can't quite get out of your own way or your own cycle, and you want to know like, all right, what's in my way and how do I move past it? Or let's clear the energy, message me. I have these recalibration and energy clearing sessions through the end of January, and then that's it, single sessions. And then moving forward from there, I work with people inside a container of sessions where it's, I call it big magic mentorship, where it's like, I'm clearing your energy field, I'm doing the breakthrough activation for you, and we're working on the energetic field, and you're creating from a clear space, a aligned space, a grounded space. Right? So you're meant to be dropping out of your mind and into your heart. A lot of what this evolution of your life and consciousness and your soul's journey is about integrating your soul with your being and learning how to use this vehicle as the superhuman that you are. So if you have any questions, message me. If you think that you're wondering, hey, I don't know if this session will work for me, just message me and let me know what's going on for you, and I'll chat and I'll let you know if it feels like it's a fit or not. But there is really no reason that you need to continue suffering. I just did a post on my page, and I just spoke about how, would you go into an Amazon jungle without a guide? Well, you can, and you'll figure it out, and you'll work your way through, and you're going to do it in this life too. You don't need me, you don't need anybody. But I'll tell you right now, I have a kick-ass inner circle that has helped me get through stuff really quickly. And that's what I'm about. I'm about fast and quick. And that's what doing energy work in the form of healing and mentorship does, is it's quick and fast. And then you get to that space of being able to create versus continuing to like cycle over and pattern and just talk about the same thing over and over and over again. If you're in pain for like in a long period of time, you've got to do something different. Essentially, that's what I want you to take away from this message, is that whatever is happening for you, and if you're not able to get beyond it, you have to do something different. So whether it's a session with me or somebody else, reach your hand out, do what it is that you have to do. Don't listen to your mind, because your mind is the thing that holds the pain, and anything that is going to annihilate the pain or transform the pain, your mind is going to go against, because there's something that is feeding off of that is alive because of that, and it's going to tell you not to do anything about it so that it can stay alive. There is so much more life for you to be living than beyond any kind of suffering or limitation that you have right now. It does not matter what your life looks like. It's really about what you think about it. I just exchanged a message with a friend, and she had just sold her house not too long ago. And I sold my house in 2013. What year is this? 7 years? I can't even believe it. Anyway, it took me a little while to get okay with it, because I actually saw my house as this like symbol of success, and I worked really hard and to get myself to that space, and I enjoyed my house and I love my house, and I will have another house at some point in time. But I was holding on to it because I thought if I let it go, I would be a failure. And in my own evolution, I came to the point of like, why did I wait so long to let it go? because I have so much more freedom in my life, and freedom is my currency. And so, yeah, so it's not so much about what your life looks like. It's like, how do you feel in it? That's what matters, right? And this evolution that we're going through, is I just feel like there's so much that 2020 is going to be bringing, is that it's not about the outer things, it's about the inner. And when the inner is like rocking, then the outer is rocking, no matter what it looks like. So anyway, I hope that there was some inspiration or some insight or gems that you can take from today. And if you're intrigued and you want to know a little bit more about the energy clearing and recalibration session I have for January, it's only going to be here through the 31st. So message me, hi Doug, message me, and let's see if it's a fit. But check out my page. Inside my photo albums, there's a folder called testimonials. Check it out. Check out what people are saying. And hi, Vanessa. And if you catch the replay and you have any questions, just message me or post your questions below and I will get back to you. But thanks for tuning in. If you're just tuning in now, catch the replay. And yeah, I can't stress enough that we need each other. We need other people to help us see what we can't see for ourselves. So if what you're doing isn't working, another way is available. Reach your hand out, and just like if you fell down on the ground, you would need some help up. So whether it's, physical misalignments or energetic misalignments that are going on for you, I can support that, because your physical misalignment is actually a emotional and energetic misalignment. And I'm able to tune into what the misalignments are. We shift those energetically, and then everything comes into form. Everything comes into balance. And your mind is clear, you feel lighter, you are able to make more informed decisions that are coming from alignment with your heart and soul versus from your mind where the fear is created. All right. Hey, Steph, catch the replay at the beginning. I'm just signing off now. So have a great afternoon, everybody, and thank you for watching. Mwah.